Today we are going to discuss about the regulatory requirements for herbal medicines, right? So when it comes to the herbal medicines, obviously these are the medicines which are different from the other allopathic medicines, right? Herbal medicines we are using in the different system of medicines, like Ayurvedic system of medicines, Unani also we are using, in Siddha also somewhere we are using Chinese system. So what are the regulatory requirements when we are going to manufacture the herbal medicine, market the herbal medicine, or import export the herbal medicines? What is happening in India, or that we are going to discuss under the herbal medicines? So generally, let us understand, review on to the herbal medicines. Generally, herbal medicines are nothing but these are the plant drugs, right? uh, uh, these herbal medicines are also known as phytomedicines or botanical medicines, which involves the use of plant parts like leaves, root, stem, fruit, flower, bark, seeds, all those things, and for the therapeutic or medicinal purpose, right? It is the oldest and is still the most generally used system of medicine in the world at present now also, right? The earliest record, if you see the evidence of use of these medicines in even in Indian, Chinese, Egyptian, Greek, Roman, Syrian text, date back to the about 5,000 years, right? If you see the 5,000 years that we have discussed into the history of pharmacognosy also, right? So that's what it is, not only Indian, in other countries also in different text it has been written. 80% of the world population relies on herbal medicines as their primary healthcare systems now also. As per WHO, herbal medicines are three types. What are those three types? The raw materials, the plant raw materials, and to the processed plant materials, and the medicinal herbal products, the finished products, right? So these three types of medicines, it is there as per WHO. In India, herbal medicines are regulated by the Ministry of Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha, and Homeopathy. That is nothing but Ayush, Ayush, Ayurvedic, this Yoga, Unani, Siddha, and Homeopathy. Right. Regulatory provisions for Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha medicines are laid down in Drugs and Cosmetic Act 1940 and the Rules 1945, right? So these regulatory provisions for this all the system of medicines, it is as per the Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940 and the Rules 1945. On the other hand, in South Africa, these medicines known as the complementary medicines, right? In other country or in South Africa, it is known as a complementary medicine. This regulated according to the Medicines and Related Substance Act 1965, Act 101 in 1965, for manufacturing, distributing, marketing of the CAM, right? There was no regulatory body present for the controlling these medicines. Medicines Control Council with various committees control these medicines in South Africa and India. This is there is a South African common technical documents and all those this other country. So coming to the next one, how many types we can classify the herbal medicines? Generally, in last slide we have seen that these are the plant material, finished products, and different herbal products, right? So coming to the here, it is divided into the four category. The category one, the indigenous herbal medicines. This category of herbal medicines is historically used in local community or region, and is very well known through long uses by the local population in terms of its composition, treatment, and the dosage. Like indigenous herbal means local peoples or a particular district or particular village or particular area where they are using, right? So coming to the second category, herbal medicine in system. Medicines in this category have been used for a long time and are documented with their the special theories and concepts and accepted by the countries. For example, Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha would fall into this category of the medicine. Coming to the third category, modified herbal medicines. These are herbal medicines as described above in category 1 and 2, except that they have been modified in some way, either shape or form, including dosage form, mode of administration, herbal medicinal ingredients, method of preparation, and medical indications. They have to meet the national regulatory requirement for the safety and efficacy of herbal medicines. Coming to the category 4, imported products with the herbal medicine base, right? Base. This category covers all imported herbal medicines, including raw materials and the products. Imported herbal medicines must be registered and marketed in the countries of origin, right? That's why the efficacy data have to be submitted to the national authority of the importing country, and need to meet the requirements, safety and efficacy of the regulation of herbal medicine in the recipient country or the country which is receiving that particular medicine. So coming to the requirement here, so what are the Indian regulations, right? In India, herbal medicines are regulated under the Drug and Cosmetic Act D and C 1940 and the rules 1945. That's what our topic is, regulatory requirements of herbal medicines, right? So where regulatory provision for Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha medicines are clearly laid down, right? Ministry of Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy, that is nothing but Ayush, or we can say the Ministry of Ayush is the regulatory authority, and mandate that any manufacture or marketing of herbal drugs have to be done after obtaining manufacturing license as applicable, right? So this is only you should remember. Don't write any other CSCADO or National Drug Authority like Ministry of Ayush only, it is going to regulate when it comes to the manufacturing license of herbal drugs. Okay, the main focus of this department, which department? Ayush department, is on development of education and research in Ayurveda, Yoga, and naturopathy, Unani, Siddha, and homeopathy systems. Law and regulations on herbal medicines are partly the same as those for the conventional pharmaceuticals, right? Other pharmaceuticals, like it is that the Drug and Cosmetic Act extends the control over licensing, formulation composition, manufacture, labeling, packing, quality, and export, right? So let's discuss schedule T of the act lays down the good manufacturing practice, GMP requirements to be followed for the manufacture of herbal medicine. Okay, the official pharmacopoeias and formularies are available for the quality standards of the medicine. What is the going to be the quality standard for the particular herbal medicine? The official pharmacopoeia and formularies are available. First schedule of the Drug and Cosmetic Act has listed authorized text which have to be followed for licensing any herbal product under the two category, Ayurvedic, Siddha and Unani drugs, and patent or proprietary medicines, right? uh, Next, Ministry of Ayush. What is Ministry of Ayush and when it has been? The Ministry of Ayush was formed on 19th November 2014 to ensure the optimal development and propagation of Ayush system of healthcare, right? Earlier, it was known as the Department of Indian System of Medicine and Homeopathy, ISM and H, which was created in March 1995 and renamed as Department of Ayurveda, Yoga and Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy, Ayush, in November 2003, with focused attention for development of education and research in Ayurveda, Yoga and Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy. That is Ayush. In India, manufacturing, marketing, promotion of Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani drugs is controlled by Ayush Ministry or Ayush Department. Drug and Cosmetic Act and Act 1940. What its role, and this herbal drugs are regulated under the Drug and Cosmetic Act DNC 1940 and Rules 1945 in India, where regulatory provision for Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha medicine are clearly laid down in chapter 4A, right? In that chapter 4A, there are 18 different sections are present from section 33C to 33O. Table number 1, next slide we are going to discuss. These all sections provide all information related to Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani drugs regulations for manufacturing, sale, registration, good manufacturing practice certificate, licensing, and other penalties which is applicable. So here you can see the list of Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani drugs regulation sections. One side it has given, and one side titles. So for example, 33C to 33O, I told you, right? So 33C, it is Ayurvedic, Siddha, and Unani drugs technical advisory board. 33D, it is the Ayurvedic Siddha Unani Drugs Consultative Committee. It is 33E is misbranded drugs. 33EE, adulterated drug. 33EEA, the spurious drug. 33EEB, regulations of manufacture of sale of Ayurvedic Siddha and Unani drugs. Like, so likewise you can see here the government analyst, inspectors, application of provision in section, right, penalty for the subsequent offenses if any offenses has been done, right, power of the central government to make rules, what kind of rule can be made, right, and the power of amend first schedule. So likewise the different section it is there in the regulation. Coming to the schedule T, good manufacturing practices for the Ayurvedic, Siddha, and Unani medicines or herbal medicines. In India, for getting approval to manufacture or sell these ASU drugs, manufacturer have to take the GMP certificate, right? So, according to Drug and Cosmetic Rules 157, the for getting a certificate of good manufacturing practices of Ayurvedic, Siddha, Unani drugs, the applicant has to file application, right? The applicant has to file application on a plain paper with full information on existing infrastructure of the manufacturing unit where they are going to manufacture the particular drug, particular medicine, including instruments available, equipments available, and the technical staffs recruited, names with their qualification, B Farm, M Farm, MSc, BSc, what qualification they are. After full verification by licensing authority, as per the schedule T requirements, licensing authority will be will issue a certificate within a period of 3 months in form 26-E-I. Right. So this you should remember, where they are going to give the certificate in the form number 26EI. Right. In the time 3 months they are taking. Okay. So coming to the new guidelines of herbal medicines, Ayush providing time to time new revised regulation for the Ayurvedic, Siddha, Unani drugs. Before there is no such guidelines for conducting clinical trial, but in March 2013, Ayush published the new GCP guidelines for clinical trials on the ASU drugs. Good clinical practice is a set of guidelines which incorporates the design, conduct, termination, audit, analysis, reporting, and documentation of the studies involving human subjects. The fundamental tenet of GCP is that the research on man, the interest of science and the society should never take precedence over the consideration related to the well-being of the study subject. Its intention to ensure that the studies are scientifically and ethically sound and that the clinical properties of Ayurvedic Siddha Unani medicines under investigation are properly documented. The guidelines seeks to the establish two cardinal principles: protection of the right of human subjects and authenticity of ASU medicines clinical trial data which is generated. These guidelines are formulated based on the CDSCO documents on GMP guidelines 2001 for clinical trials on pharmaceutical products. Actually, CDSCO, that is also the body for regulatory body for other drug, allopathic drugs or synthetic or semi-synthetic drug. So these guidelines, which is for the herbal medicines by Ayush, are formulated based on these only, based on CDSCO documents on GCP guidelines. They should be followed for carrying out all Ayurvedic Siddha Unani medicine research in India at all stages of drug development, whether prior or subsequent to product registration in India. Right? In India, this is the type of stages they have to uh, finalize. These GCP guidelines have to be followed during a clinical trial. If this not follow, then clinical trial will be suspended by regulatory authority or Ministry of Ayush. The GCP guidelines also provide the compensation related guidelines for participants if any unwanted result or death of participants occur during the clinical trial, because in clinical trial the whatever whoever is going to be the participant, they have to give the consent letter that if anything goes wrong, we are all solely responsible for that particular conduct. So suppose if any death occur or any unwanted results will occur, right? So that will be these guidelines also provide the compensation for that particular loss. From 2017 onwards, it's also mandatory that there must be expiry and manufacturing date present on the product label, right? Any kinds of herbal, if it is a proprietary patent or proprietary type of herbal medicines or any other herbal medicine, there has to be the expiry date or date of manufacturing. We have to find out before launching, and that has to be there into the label of herbal medicine. So here we have discussed that the regulatory requirement for herbal medicine. So in India, the regulatory requirement, it is regulated by the Ayush ministry, and in all these we are going to use the herbal medicine. So you have to submit, you have to apply, the particular applicant supposed to apply in a plain paper with giving all the details which is required for the approval of that particular drug for marketing or manufacturing, right?